Na nyasi. Na nyasi. Oh, ndakanyaga tu. There's a... Oh, anakujia hii side. We have more materials for the construction of the house that are still coming in. And right now we have a pickup. Is it called a pickup? Pickup truck? Pickup mini truck or pickup truck. They've brought habari asubuhi. Niko poa. They've brought the wire mesh, as you can see. Kwani ni ngumu? Ngetoa matawi. I'm struggling to push that gate. There are some leaves that have fallen off those trees, the soursop trees, so they are blocking the path because they have these small tires down here. They've blocked your way. Tangojea wamaliza, muda kupita kando. Yes. Oh, so I'm coming. Kudumu. Zineko wapi Matiko?
Hizo wageni huko ndani. Hapa alafu tutapaka ndani. Nenda kaza hiki na
they'll be put. Isiweke hata hapa. Alafu zitapangwa. Zile zingine amepeleka wapi juu?
Ndio utapangwa huko ndani. Kuna space hapo ndani? Kuna space? Ndio kwanza tupande. Wewe tupande kwanza hapa, simiti kwanza itaingia ndani. Ndio ndio kupotea kama simiti. Na dawa ya mtoto itakuwa.
Sawa.
Sijui ni kukopi hiyo koti yako.
So they've brought in the wire mesh. Alright, so those are cement, bags of cement that are being brought in, materials for continuation of the construction of the house. Jeff. Jeff, stop. Guys, Jeff is so unserious. These are the remaining, but now they're adding more. Like, we need more cement, so these are the remaining, and they're adding the ones that have come. More and more materials needed for the house to be completed. Hey. Si bebe moja. I think they are done. That is the last bag. Jeff. Zimeisha? So those were bags of cement they've been bringing in. I was drinking tea so my tongue is burned. Hot. Yes. Oh. Oh, ni moja? Okay, thank you. This is let's see. Oh, for insects. I think it's very dangerous. I have to wash my hands. For insects, you wash your hands after touching that. You know, you might forget and touch food and you eat it and your stomach starts rumbling. It is for insects, for mosquitoes. Oh, Kichugu. Nitaje kwa English sijui. Wanamisha hapa.
Yeah, I forgot them.
Just insects.
You know English is not Englishing here.
But they pour, there's these insects that create something, we call it kichugu. Chinswa. I don't know if it's mice, those tiny mice.
So
it is for potting.
let me go and keep it.
Yeah, keep it and then we'll give it to engineer. Okay. So they are bringing in the bags of cement and some wire mesh. I can't touch my face. I think I'll have to wash my hands. So they are done. I've touched that bottle and you know it's chemicals, so I'm gonna have to wash my hands. Avocado man was cleaning over here. He's not yet done. Shamaliza.
Hebu shika hapo. Ulifungua mafuta. Unajua mafuta angalia kucha huko hivi. Mafuta nafungua kucha huko.
Matiko.
Na ile imejaa.
Brought in the materials for the continuation of Chef Matiko and Laura's house. I had shown you earlier we have 1, 2, 3, 4. We have the cements inside this house, just some space they created before. Actually, the first round the materials were bought, they had to create some space because maybe you might say we have a little space up there in that the upper room, but there are some things are stored there that couldn't be placed inside here, inside Mama's house, not the other one. Also, we have the water heater inside there, so unfortunately we couldn't put them there. So that is why with the cement they had to put it inside Mama's old house, the other one. That is cement, bags of cement, and also here we have some wire mesh. These are the wire mesh that I don't know what I don't know if they are being put on the ground level or up. I'm not sure about that. So for that we wait and see. We'll continue watching so we get to understand what they are being placed, because what I'm seeing, I thought in my thoughts I'm thinking that maybe if it's a house that goes up, maybe story building, there are more pillars built, but with this one is different, so that is why I can't explain what this wire mesh are for, but kindly keep watching the video so that we understand, both of us, where the wire mesh are being put. The vibrator again to the other. Kwani iko na mkono ya mtu yenye haikubali?
Inatoa. Si unas ama nikupigie. Wewe ndio ulibuta hapa. Usiwashe. Don't wash.
It's kind of scary. Honda. Oh, that is why it sounds like a Honda. It's from Honda.
$150. Nataka nikununulie. I will buy it for you.
Ataki nupeleke mpaka mwisho asemita inatetemesha sana.
Inatetemesha.
Inatetemesha nini?
Inakutetemesha.
It goes round.
Yes.
Hata maji mwana hapa imeenda.
Uje fanya maji yote ni nini?
Atakoroga.
Hata rojo hiyo iko sawa.
Hata mpaka wewe ndio kwa
Kwende kwa maji yote. Kwa nimemwaga nilikuwa nasoma na maji.
See the remaining cement. You know, if you see someone here in the village walking with a stick, but it's normal. Like I'm walking minding my own business, and then I meet a man carrying a panga, carrying some, especially men love to carry these arrows, yeah, a bow, an arrow, you know, they have this thing they put inside an arrow at their back. That is just normal. So having a stick, it's not dangerous because I'm not gonna hit anyone with it anyway. So they carry pangas, they carry anything, you know. Sometimes they are off to cut some sisal for the livestock, some food for the livestock. So that is why you may just meet a man carrying a panga, others carrying an axe, you know. So it's just for their job, nothing harmful. On this other side, I came to check on the sand, on how it's going. This is the remaining. It's going fast because they're using it to make the concrete for the for the columns, you know, the columns they are filling in right now. So you can see a very bigger portion of soil have been removed today, and that is the remaining one. I don't know if you can see it clearly from this other side. Yeah, the remaining is very little. And on this side, this is moram. This moram was brought in earlier, before they started to levelize the house. So they use this moram. You can tell the difference from this moram. This moram, I don't know what it's made of, but it's kind of mixed because you can see plenty of these stones. They're kind of grinded. So this is the moram. They call it moram sand, and this one here is the normal sand we used to build houses with. You know, it's gotten from the rivers, besides the roads, especially when it's raining. They just collect it from the roads when whenever it rains. Rainwater flows and makes this sand to collect itself by the roadside. So they go and remove it. Some people clean it by sieving the sand to remove things like this. You see, this is a piece of cloth. This one here, it has some gravel, some stones in it. So some of them do sieve, and the soil that is sieved, it is very expensive compared to this normal one. So this, in case it was fetched from a riverside, not like they alter rivers to get this sand, no. You find in a case where it has rained a lot and the sand has recollected itself. So when it does that, it causes flooding of the river or close to the river. So when they remove this sand, at least they create space for the water to pass, so they don't interfere with the river. But some do because they overdo it. They dig deeper, and now when you do that, the walls of the river where you've just dug, they start collapsing. And when they collapse and it continues to rain, the plantations besides it, or even the sand, it now looks uglier. That is what we call soil erosion sometimes, because you've just distracted Mother Nature. That is the river. We don't create rivers unless you do. So you dig very deep areas to get sand like this one, and now you interfere with the borders. They call borders banks. I think they are river banks. Yeah, if I'm wrong, kindly correct me. Those edges of the rivers, I think they're called banks, river bank. Not so sure. So for those who do not dig it carefully to remove this sand, they always interfere with the river banks because they dig deeper and now they start collapsing the banks. They start collapsing, and that is why sometimes it causes floods, because now that you've interfered with the flow of the water through over digging those banks, the water now starts, it loses now where to go, like which flow can it follow. You know, water doesn't have a specific flow. It has sometimes if it is clear, but if it's not clear, it just passes everywhere. So you can imagine if it rains a lot and then the water is too much, the banks are interfered with, it causes flooding. But I thank God, because ever since I was born here in Nyabohanse village, I've never heard of any area close to our village over flooding, never. Unless back then, before we had our leaders building for us bridges, we had this there's this bridge we had actually where I'd passed to go to my grandma. So it used to overflood. They had not built the bridge, so there was no bridge. We only had some 3 big trees they had cut, and now it had joined. It was where we were climbing to cross to the other side of the river. So whenever it would rain much, you couldn't pass there. So if you were on the other side of the river, you'll have to stay there until morning, or when the water has now, you know, gone down. So with that case, that being said, actually I was trying to explain to you where we are getting this, but then I had to tackle on that. So that is a by the way. So this sand, we get it from the river banks, and the other one I've told you, it's the road. But sometimes also I noticed, because there's a route where I go to, where I pass going to my home place in Nyamwini, the outskirts of Nyabuhanse, I've seen people collecting soil by the road, but they're really interfering with the road, because you can imagine, this is the road. Let me just show you. And now this is our road, right? And this soil, it recollects itself here. So they're just going and digging and digging and digging, and then the tiny road remains tiny, just like that. Do you understand what I'm saying? I don't know if you guys are understanding what I'm saying. Like, they really interfere with the roads. They dig out the sand that is besides the road until it becomes so tiny that it starts to cause accidents in the name of collecting sand. So I think some people should be careful also interfering with the roads, because those are public roads and everyone passes their vehicles, animals, people, you know. But for this one, it was brought from far away, because that time this sand was brought, it had not yet started to rain. So you can imagine it was very expensive compared to right now. So with this sand, actually the value goes up, down, not regarding, but whenever it rains, the price shoots. Whenever it rains, the price goes down, because that is when we have a lot of sand. We can collect sand outside. Whenever it's sunny, oh gosh, it is so expensive. I think it's always double the price whenever there's a lot of sun. So that is how it goes. But for this just have to order. This is the gravel, the fine one, the machine made, which they're using to fill in the concrete. They've said they mix it with the cement and this sand for the columns, so that they make it tight and stronger, because it's fine and good for the columns. But these ones here are not so good for the column. Maybe for other work, like filling in those foundation, but I didn't see them using this for foundation. But the top parts, you know, we've been missing the rain for the past 3 days now. And how, by the way, how is it that this grass was planted out here? I saw someone asking how we are planting grass. But let me tell you, I think it depends, because look at how this one has blossomed. It looks so nice. It has really grown. And the one that is inside, it is not even closer to this. Or maybe is it that this one is closed and no one walks over here. So it's time to grow. It looks so good. And also, there was no like manure that was put on this other side. I think the one that is inside, it will just grow with time, you know. Yep. Oh no! Who destroyed Mama's tomato? Who did this, Jeff? Do you know? Jeff, now today you're not gonna talk to me, Jeff.
You passed me like a Matiko.
Jeff, I did not. I said hi.
Why did I see you?
Now, the whole of today, Jeff will be beefing with me. Oh my god. Because I didn't shake his hand. You see, Mama's tomato. I really don't know who cut it. Because this is so unfair. Today, Jeff is beefing with me. Just because I didn't shake his hand. He's been, no, don't talk to me today. But don't worry guys, Jeff is my friend. He will just come back. You know? He's my childhood friend since we were growing up. Schooling together. Stealing sugarcane together. Yeah. The water is really going.
Yaribika ni chuma. Na inawekwa chini.
Yaani chuma yaribika.
Chuma yaribiki bana. Ushaona chuma yaribika. Acha yona chuma yaribika.
Mimi naona nyingi mkeni.
Kama gani?
He was filling in with this machine.
Sasa gari si ni plastic. Sija kuuliza, unasema tu anda amesema ni kuuliza hivi.
Yunge wa Yesu buni yangu.
So he's onto this other column in this house. Actually, it's in the corner. No, not corner specifically, but in the middle corner because it separates this room in the wall and also the other room. This one that was supposed to be a washroom. So he's fixing it as usual, pouring concrete inside of it. And I think he's done. He started up with this one and then filled this, and then he filled this one. This one also is already filled, sorry. And these other ones. Another day, another dollar. So guys, wow, this looks beautiful. Look at that. Can you all see from the inside? It looks so beautiful. So they've removed the timber from these. Right now they're not columns but pillar. Is this a pillar or a column? Right now. So as you can see, I think it's because we have few timbers. These timbers, they are a bit few, so they had to remove. But they are strong enough. Now they have to be watered and then dry. Yeah. From this other side, that is how they look. You see, the house is almost there now. And that is how it looks. Daddy, wewe zimenoki.
Nyuma ngoma kwa wewe. Kuja. Awani uko kuja hapa.
Sababu gani?
Hatuwezi vamjua.
Mwezi?
Vamjua. Wenye wako na panga ni wenye wanavamjua. Wanajua kabisa mko.
Panga ni ya kuhamia, ni gani ya kuhamia. Fanya mko mnakata hata ndizi hapo.
Hizo mnakatia ni kisu. Oh my god.
Nilete mbao. Hii kwanza uisukumi sana. Si ndio nataka nilete mbao usukume hii.
Mama had chopped these bananas, but they still bend. Like this one here is bending because of this banana is so heavy. The weight is overwhelming it, but it can't fall because that is how they usually grow. Can't fall down, so maybe we put a stick to support it not to bend too much because it's where we normally pass. And these shorty shorts, we give them like 2 months and they will be ready. This is how it looks like. You can see it's very intact. They poured water to make it strong, to make this pillar strong now. Now also that one, but they haven't removed those timbers. I have here also. They are so intact. Now there's no door behind here, you see. They built a wall already. There was an entrance which was not supposed to be a door, but we used to pass through it as a door over here. But they built it and left some space over there, maybe like a window for some light or air. Phase 2 is running smooth. It looks so good. And I was also worried the way you people are worried about the first time it was being demolished. I was worried too. So right now it looks intact because everywhere that was altered or taken down has been built back, and it looks so intact and stronger than ever because now it's pillars, not even walls. Now they are yet to continue with this other side.
Sinjo.
Oh, auntie. Umepotelea wapi? Shikamoo. Karibu. So what they're doing is to reinforce what they're trying to make, like the pillars they are making by putting those timbers together, nailing them together actually.
Sasa fanya hivi. Data ile kadro ya. Ile kadro sisi. Hapa siko.
So they are reinforcing. This side and this other side too. You can see the wall. They haven't removed the timbers or the reinforcements on this other side because it was done later, so it needs to be strong enough for them to remove. But I think it's strong, you know. It's something made of ballast, machine made ballast, cement and sand, and also mixed well together. They've also built this one. It was not here yesterday, so they've built it, and concrete will be poured inside the same way they did to other pillars like that one, this one over here. So they'll do the same. That will apply on the two pillars they are creating right there. Also, I think the lintel, because it was a bit altered. There's this one, there's that one that goes across the entrance of the house. There's this other pillar, so I think they'll be worked on maybe later after they finish these pillars that have been erected lately, the one that our masons are fixing. Yeah, they finished that and then they start mixing now the concrete over here. You see, they brought the ballast from outside, the machine made. You have the sand, the cement is inside, and I don't know with the wire mesh, I haven't seen what they are doing yet, but that will be worked on too. Welcome back again, another day as we continue here on Chef Matiko with construction of Chef Matiko and Laura's house. So guys, there's been a lot of progress, a lot of work done. Today being on a Sunday, you can hear the music from the background. That is church. I'm yet to finish here and rush to church, you know. God always comes first. Alright, so as you can see, they've already made this ground. It had been leveled earlier I had explained it to you in our previous videos. It was leveled. They poured moram. Moram is the sand that we normally use to levelize houses, especially the floors of the house, because it sticks, it is very strong, it doesn't attract water. Maybe there are those places where you'd use different type of sand. Even here, if not moram, when it rains, it opts to bring a lot of cold inside the house. When it's sunny, it's so hot. So with this one, at least with moram sand, it regulates, and it is never hot, it is never cold, just medium, and it's so good for leveling the house. So you can see here they left some space, and also on this other end they didn't explain exactly why they left the spaces, but I think they will let us know when they'll be resuming the construction. And on this other side they have placed some ropes, some tiny ropes. You can see, I believe these are some of the measurements they are using, although I don't know what for, but they are measurements they left on this other side. And here also they also tied, it's tied, let me pass under. Also on this other side they've tied some tiny rope. The house, the design, everything is coming out so well. I believe these are for measurements. So the house is coming out so well because it had been rebuilt. Now I believe you can see how it's coming out. For those who are like, you are wasting, you built and then you rebuilt, you should have done it once. No, we had said when you do something, you might just decide to change your mind. Like right now, I know it is on a Sunday here. I don't know what is your timeline over there. You might decide, today I want to go to church, and then you just change your mind. Or today I'm not going to work. Yet you have to go to work like literally every day, and then you just decide, today no, I'm not doing that. Or even you are supposed to cook, and then you just change your mind, no, I'm not gonna cook, I'll go and buy food. So as we had told you before, this house was constructed, was designed, you know, it started from the down, the foundation of the house, it was built, and then we stopped for some time, and then chef thought. I believe he decided, no, I've seen something beautiful. If I put it here, the design that I want, it will come out so perfect. So he decided, right now I want to rebuild this house. That is why you saw every time we are removing, we're rebuilding, digging. It was so delicate that even some parts were like, if you couldn't see it properly, I believe we had shown you some of the parts were even now falling off, because you know, altering a house, especially touching the foundation, is very dangerous. The foundation and the lintel, like the lintel of this side here, after they had there was a wall here, this wall was full up to this place, and then there was an entrance to those other rooms. Now when they altered this small part and left a tiny wall over here, it rained, and that night it rained, it brought down the wall and the lintel that was on top there. And fortunately they've managed to fix the walls, because on here we were supposed to put a column, which is done, and it is very strong. You can see on this other side too, they're supposed to put a column, which is done, but they were short when they were fixing them. I had told you they had to adjust, but the reason why they adjusted them, I really don't know. So you keep watching to understand more what they'll be doing. So they fixed that, and also the lintel, they built it, it's very strong. Actually they filled it yesterday with concrete. They put some of these timbers to hold the concrete strong enough for it to, you know, to be strong. So I think today they've been pouring water earlier this morning. So I think by tomorrow the lintel will, not even tomorrow, or even in 2 days, or whichever the longest time they take or shortest for it to dry, or not to dry exactly, but to be strong. So on this other side they tried to remove, I think, yeah, the timber, but they left it. They also poured concrete in this column. The column was also adjusted. It is so long, it reaches on the other end, and this one too, it is very long. So they also poured inside here concrete, and it is filled very well, and they left it. You can see it is being supported here with this tree, I think. Yeah, you can see it is very strong. So you know, for columns they need to be strong, since they had also, when they were rebuilding or when they were altering some parts of this house, the lintel that was here, remember there was a lintel here that was built before they started to demolish some parts, so it was also interfered with. With that, they had to first tie the columns and then pour concrete to make it a pillar now. So if it's dry, it dries and then it gets stronger. They'll now complete now with the lintel. They'll have to put some timbers the way they do here, or the way they've done it on the other side, and then they pour concrete. They let it stay for some time. Nani? Sijamuona hata. Yeah, and then they pour concrete and let it stay to continue being strong. So that is it with this living area. Actually, I'm calling it living area because that is how at first, when they were starting constructing this house, that is how engineer Matiko explained that this was going to be the living room. Actually, it was supposed to be a living room with an open kitchen over here. So since they changed the design and everything that they are working on in this house, I think everything will change. So as they continue to build, he will maybe later explain to us how these rooms are going to be, because this was supposed to be a very big living room, you can see, and then on this other side where there's a window, there was supposed to be an open kitchen. This was supposed to be an entrance to this bedroom. This was to be a washroom, and that one a bedroom. So as they continue to show us or to give us the new design of the house, I think much will change. You know, when you redesign, you put now different rooms. Maybe this was supposed to be a bedroom, you can now put it maybe a store or something. So we will get to know that. So here in the, let me call it living room for now, because it is big, it looks like a living room. We have our columns, right now they're called pillars because now we have concrete in them. They were columns before, they had nothing when they were being fixed, right? Right now we call them pillars. Our pillars are fixed, very strong, remaining those ones. So in this other side, I think the remaining part is the lintel to be tied, to be fixed. We have this other pillar. The pillars are strong now. I left it on this side, but they've already worked on it. And we have this lintel on this side. So we get in and see the floor from this side. You can see it is very rough and beautiful. Yeah, they've worked on the floor too. It is being leveled and it looks so big. I wish you could see it actual instead of the camera. It looks so big. It is wide. Now it is coming out as a house. Leave alone when it was being altered. When you're complaining, oh, why are you altering that house? Let's start with this room now. They've poured water. You know, it needs water. The floor needs water for it not to crack, to be strong, you know. So they poured water earlier today, and also the pillars, they've been poured water. This pillar also was fixed, and you can see there are timbers on the other side of the wall. That is they have not removed it, meaning they need to let it to continue to be strong. So this one is done and it looks intact. This other pillar that was remaining, also when they were altering some part on this part of the wall, the lintel was also interfered with, which they will be working on. It was only one, the other one was just those wires on the metals. So this column here, not column but lintel, they'll rebuild it after this pillar gets stronger, because you can see there are still woods on some parts, this and the outer parts, but they just removed this part and poured water. So they also adjusted the columns going up, meaning there's something else that they can do. And with the floor, it is very much good and leveled. It is so much okay. So what it needs is just water for some days until it gets stronger. This other pillar already done. And also this other side, the lintel was also altered. You can see they've just rebuilt it. They've poured concrete, and the timbers are holding the lintel until it gets stronger. The floor in this is what we thought, or what engineer Matiko had explained in our previous videos, that it was going to be a washroom of this house. So it had an open space over there, which was supposed to be a window, if I'm not wrong. They had to fill it, but left some space over there. So right now it looks so big compared to how it was before, you know. And the pillar, they fixed it. The wall, the floor is intact, already built. Like, so they filled the entire room with moram, the entire house, not room, with moram. So the whole house is leveled. That is why I'm trying to show you bit by bit so that you get to understand. The entire house is leveled. You can tell, you see, they've leveled the entire house with now concrete to make it more stronger. I think it's concrete, if I'm not wrong. So in this other room, the pillar is done. Actually, these are the first pillars they started with, and the columns were adjusted in both of them going up. And also this side, but of this side, the lintels were not altered. That is why you can see they are intact. But here the lintel also was altered, and they've fixed it. So these were the main parts that the lintels were altered, because I think it's because they were just by the corners, because that entrance was right here, and they altered somewhere there and here. So the walls that were left, they couldn't hold the lintel very strong. That is why they came down when it rained much. So for now, I think they are good now. We are only going to let them to continue to dry and get stronger as they get watered. So we see what next. So that was actually the difficult part, because after you rebuild now, after you take down some parts, you have to put them back. You know, that was the most difficult part, if I'm not wrong, because I'm not a mason, but I think it was because it took a lot of their time, you can imagine. So we keep watching to see what next. So let's get to the outer parts of the house and see how it is from this other side. That is how it looks like. The floor looks amazing. I love it. And they finished the mixture they had poured here. It was sand, some machine-made gravel, and cement. So from the outer part, we have our timbers still intact. They're still holding the house. The pillars, actually, not the house. So they are holding the pillars. And this side, you remember this design that was made later after the house was complete. After the house was built, the walls had risen. They designed this later, but then I don't know if it's going to continue to be there. It's just some design. That wall they built actually is not a wall. It is a kind of a pillar, because they poured concrete inside there, and then it came out this way. So it was also altered, but I think they will just have to fix that. And also I've told you the lintel needs to be fixed. You can see this other side, the timbers are still intact. They're holding the pillar right there. When they were digging out, this other side is where really seemed, to me it seemed so delicate, because it was so deep. I was like, what if the rains come again? Is it gonna alter this place? But fortunately, since I'm not a mason, it came out the way they wanted, and everything was good. You know, they calculate, they know if I remove this stone up to this end, or if I go deeper, I will alter the house. So it's still intact. I was used to passing through the entrance, or through the open space that was here. Now that it's built, I'm not gonna be passing here no more. And here they haven't removed the timbers yet. They've left the pillar to continue to be strong. But since this was the first pillar they built, so That is how it looks like. And they removed the timbers, meaning it is ready, it is strong. A house is really hard to construct because you have to really pay attention in some delicate areas that requires much attention, you know. On this side, that is how it looks like. And we are there. Soon we'll be seeing what they're going to give us, you know, the design and everything. I hope now you see how it is. Looks so good. And now we wait for the next step. Yeah, that is how it is. So the materials that was in, actually the wire mesh that were brought in are the ones that were placed under. Unfortunately we couldn't capture that, but they were put under, and then concrete was poured. I will ask our mason the reason why they put the wire mesh under. There was always that black paper, I don't know the name. They always put, it is a plastic black paper they usually put, so I'm not sure of the use of that also, and the use of the wire mesh under before they pour concrete. So tomorrow will be on a Monday, and we will consult with our mason and get to know what was the use of that, or why they put it. So since the pillars or the columns have been adjusted, I think something new is going to be built here, right? I know you're thinking that too. So we can't guess, right? So we wait. They might continue tomorrow or the following day, so we just keep on waiting as we see, you know. I know longer columns shows it is a story building. I'm not sure of that. I'm not saying it is a story building. Just saying, since there's longer columns, that is what I see. I used to admire that when I was a little child, like seeing a house with tall or longer columns going up. I was like, oh, this is a story building that is going to be built here, and I would really admire that. So yeah, guys, that was it for today. Wanted to show you and keep you updated on the progress of Chef Matiko and Laura's house here in the village. As we all know, he has a newborn baby Africa, you know. We pray for her, God to protect her, our little baby. We wish and pray to see her soon, you know. That is a very beautiful angel. So as you keep up here with us, we really appreciate your support, and may God continue blessing you abundantly. Kindly, if you haven't subscribed here on Chef Matiko, don't forget, please. How can you watch a video and not subscribe? Kindly hit that subscription button, a notification button, because we upload videos here every single day. You don't want to miss. We keep you updated on the progress of the house, because this is the main thing we are on right now, so you don't want to miss this. Kindly watch. Kindly check out Mabere, that is Chef Matiko's sister. She has plenty of videos. I know she had paused for some time, but now she's back with bangers, so you don't want to miss it. Kindly go check her out. Check Mabere 254, who's at school. That is Chef Matiko's brother too. Kindly check him out. He'll be soon out, and we'll be having videos from him. Check out Maria Mugini, and also don't forget to check me out. I'm African Ruby. Kindly check me out. Subscribe to my channel. I have plenty of videos, and here also. And another second big one is Matty and Laura. Kindly go check it out. We have videos there. You don't want to miss them. Kindly check them out. Matty and Laura. You get that? MATIA space AND space Laura, LAURA, or A. Yeah, we call it A. Yeah, so check us out all, please, and subscribe to our channel. Subscribe here if you haven't. We are on our road to 100K subscribers, and we know without you guys we can't make it possible. So since we have you, we know we are going to make it by you sharing our videos with your family, friends, relatives, workers, so that we get more and more and we hit that goal that we are on to 100k subscribers. So until tomorrow, thank you so much for being here with us. May God bless you all.